If you're not playing NRL Fantasy Draft, you are missing out on a great experience. Fantasy Draft is unlike anything else in that each NRL player can only be owned by one team, meaning every matchup is super unique. So today we're going to talk through how you make your draft league with your mates and how you can crush them in it too. So firstly, we're starting off in the fantasy page. You can see my all-star roster. It's perfect. I'm not going to be changing it much in the next 2 months. Just kidding. It's going to get a lot of fiddling. Now, if you want to go to draft, click on the top left, the 3 lines up there, and you want to just hop down to the draft section, which is about halfway down. So if we hit draft, we can get into this section here. Now you can join a league, a random league, but I wouldn't recommend that. What I would say you want to do is go to create a league just here. So once you hit create a league, you're going to get a view like this. And let me just take myself a little bit off your screen there too, so you can see a bit better. So now we can create a draft league from scratch. And the big thing here is you want to decide how many people do you want in your draft league. The best leagues I've been in have had either 10 or 12 people in them. I think 10 or 12 is the best number. 12 is very exciting. So 12 is probably the ultimate. 10 can be a bit light. You can go up to 14 or 16 if you want to, but it just means that the talent is spread more and more thinly. So I would recommend a 12-man league if you can. If not, get 10. In terms of start round 1 is the only option. If you do anything else there, you're crazy. You want to make it a private league so no one else can join your league unless you want it to be open to the public. So stick to private. For draft time. Now, draft time is really tricky. The NRL season kicks off on the 3rd of March, is it? It was early March. Let's have a look. When's round 1? Yeah, Sunday, 3rd of March. Yeah, sorry, the Sunday put me off. Sunday, 3rd of March, and then those teams get a bye, and it's Thursday the 7th. So you've got 3rd of March. Is that start date on the Sunday? So you can basically do your draft anytime before that. Now, this is a bit tricky, but you typically want to see the team lists before you do a draft. If not, you can do it a bit earlier. So I would recommend trying to do your draft from Tuesday the 27th onwards, just to get the best chance of seeing how the teams look. So Thursday 29th, Friday the 1st, or Saturday the 2nd are really good options. Or you can do the morning on the Sunday, potentially, and actually that won't even work, will it? Because that's, yeah, Sunday 1:30 p.m. You can do the morning then and then just start the league right away. So I'd recommend from the 27th onwards for your start date. Now let's pretend we're doing a Thursday night draft. We want to choose a time as well. We'll make it the evening. We'll go 7 o'clock. I know you're going to miss the block, but it's worth it. Then in terms of the finals format, so because we've got a 12-man league, I would say you can go top 8. Top 8 is very forgiving. It means that basically everyone gets a crack at the finals. So I have some leagues that do that. You can go top 6 if you want a more brutal competition. But if you're a bit of a rookie and your mates are too, I reckon go top 8. It's a bit more fun. It just means that everyone's a contender. Only 4 teams will miss out. If you have a 10-man league, do top 6. I think that's a nice number. You can go top 4, but it's pretty savage to do. League finals start round 23 is okay. You want to go 23, 24, and 25, and then 26. So those 4 weeks are good for finals. And then round 27, players get rested, so you don't want to be doing that. So round 23 is a good league final start. Keep this as flexible. If you set this to once, it just means that you'll have 11 games and then nothing until finals. So that's terrible, and twice just doesn't work mathematically. Buy rounds, I like to turn these on, right? And the reason for that is if you are desperate, you can make more trades during those buy rounds and run a bit of a strategy to try and make up wins to that period. Whereas if you're confident, you might just sit on your team as is and you might cop some losses there. So turn the buy rounds on. It's much more fun. It just means that like those rounds where there's heaps of buys in State of Origin, you keep playing your draft league. So it's way better. Draft type, you want to go live. Auto is a bit goofy. Draft order, snake is fine. There are some other options in different leagues, but when you talk about NFL, but snake is good. Basically, the difference is linear just means if you're the first pick, then you're the first pick for each round. Whereas on snake, it means if you're the first pick in the first round, it'll snake around and you'll be the last pick in the second round. So it's much more even. So you want to go snake. Draft turn time, I think I normally like 90 seconds, but let's go 2 minutes here. I think 2 minutes is a good amount of time. to give people a moment to make their picks. You can go 60 seconds if you're hardcore. Do not do 30 seconds. There are too many technical, internet issues that people have on their devices for 30 seconds, but 2 minutes is a nice amount of time. In terms of the gameplay, this is just the roster setup. So we're just looking at the teams, right? So this is just in order. So it just means number of hookers, number of middle forwards, number of edge, number of half, blah, blah, blah. So that this just means 1 hooker, 3 middles, 2 edge, 2 half, 2 center, 3 winger, fullback, and 4 on the bench. So that's a standard 17-man squad. I would stick with that usually. You can make a case for other options where if you want a deeper bench, that's a 12-man bench right here. So that's, I just realized it's not coming up on that when I click it, but I'm clicking on this 1, 3, 2, 2, 2. You can go 12-man bench there. You can also go 1 player in each position, which is insane. You can do it really light there as well. You might do one of these lighter configurations when you're in a bigger league. But the 1, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, that's the way to do it. Captains on is good. Captains are entertaining, but at the same time, it is a big advantage to the team who has Cleary or Hines. So if you want to be really fair, you turn it off. If you want to be more entertaining and have more fun with it, I would turn it on. Emergencies are a total hack. If you have the emergencies here, look, it just means that you can start a player on your bench who's, say, a back rower, and if they score well, then you can remove your starter and player go gets 0 and get that score. So the loopholing with emergencies is really, really big in draft. I would probably still leave it on. It's a bit more forgiving, but people can take advantage of it. Rolling lockout, leave that on unless you want to lock the teams at the start of the round. I would leave it on personally. Restricted free agents, yep, on 1 day is fine. It just means when someone drops someone, they go to the waivers and they stick around for 1 day before anyone can grab them. The order, so this is just the bidding order, right? So if there's a player there on the waivers and me and you both want to get that guy, whoever's higher in the waiver order is going to get that player. So this last pick to bottom option just means that which one of us took a player more recently, we won't get that guy because we got the last guy. The other option you can do is reverse ladder order. If you have a league where you've got some players who are really weak and some really strong players, this can even things up a bit more. So it really depends on your league. I like last pick to bottom because I play with mostly guys who are pretty good. But if you're playing with some new players, which I've got a few leagues like that as well, then we would do last pick to bottom in that situation. Restricted free agency, privacy. Oh my God, you want this private. Anyone who makes this public, it just means everyone can see who you're trying to get from the waivers, which is absurd. And then trade approval. I'm talking to you and you're the commissioner because you're looking at how to set this up. I would make this commissioner approved personally. You can make it free for all so everyone can just make trades. You can make it league approved so everyone votes, but that doesn't really work that well in my eyes. If you get commissioner approved, it just means the commissioner makes the call on whether the trade is through or not. Do not veto trades unless it's obvious collusion. You cannot veto a trade just because you think it's unfair or anything like that. You've just got to suck it up. If someone made a good deal, they made a good deal, right? But other than that, you got to let those trades go through. So now we're at the pre-draft for this, and I'll just move my little head across again. Oh, we don't like that. That's average too. How do I get myself out of the way? Yeah, it's kind of out of the way. All right, so this is our pre-draft list. So when you're playing a draft league, what happens is everyone takes turns picking players, and you can see where you're up to on the list. You can pre-order this as well. So if you want to move Cleary up to number 1, let's say you really, Fafita is carrying an injury into this year, so you might want to move him down to 15, for example. You might want to move Haas to 2. Oh, no. I've gone 32. What's happening there? I'll move Haas to 2. That's not the best way to do it. You can drag the guys as well. So you can move them around like that too. And also if there's a player you really don't like the look of, so let's say, normally there's more guys like this. Let's say you really don't back Bo Firma to come back well this year, or Yeah, let's push them up there. You can click this little box here. And it just means you're ignoring that player now. So that's a little box on the right for ignore that player. You can see their averages from last year as well. So you can rank them based on averages, or you can rank them based on total points if you value reliability. You could value anything here, right? So Damien Cook, for example, super reliable, super higher up. Or you can have a look at anything there basically, and you click into these players as well. So yeah, just set your pre-draft order. Generally, you're going to want to do a bit of movement here. For me, we can go through, if anyone wants that, a video on draft order. There's a few guys I would bring up the list, a few guys I would bring down. One big thing you want to look at is positional plentifulness. So if there's a lot of middle forwards, for example, who are quite good, I would maybe prioritize a good fullback or a good center as opposed to a good forward if they were the same average, just because there's a lot of forwards who can average 50. So that's how you'll play that. Anyway, let me know if you're going to set up a draft league. If you have any questions, shoot them in the comments. I'll be around to help you out with those. Otherwise, enjoy your fantasy league, and I'll see you around on the next video.